Alright, good morning. This is Maybe Old Slot Gamer. This is going to be a different episode than what I normally do. I've had a few questions about how I do my coding. So I'm going to cover pretty much every piece of IC code that I have in here. And I did have a question from Ben, for example, about my Sterling engine code. And I really don't have any IC chips for my Sterling engine, but I'll explain how I have it working. But basically, the only logic I have for the Sterling engine is a logic reader and a logic writer. The reader is reading the switch, which right now is the setting is 1 because the switch is on. The writer is writing that setting to the generator and turning it on. So the only code I have is to turn the generator on and off. Everything else I have set to standard settings, which work pretty well. I'll show you my hot gas system, if you want to call 242 hot, maybe warm. But basically I have this circulating, and my pipes are kind of a mess, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But I have this circulating in to the Sterling engine via heat with this volume pump, which I have set to 1. And basically that goes into the Sterling engine, and that's all it has to do, is it just heats up the Sterling engine. So I have 13 megapascals, and because I have that set to 1, I have 14 megapascals over there. Same temperature, not a big deal. And then Sterling engine, I have 2 vents, passive vents, and I have the air coming in and out, and that is being set and circulated with this volume pump that's set to 10. So basically it's just pushing the air into the Sterling engine compartment and then forcing it out into my cooling system, which these came with the new setup. These are, oops, I should have done this before I turned the video on, sorry about that. A little bit of rearranging. These are medium radiators in the convection mode, I think. There's 2 modes for these. Just make sure in a vacuum, I'm pretty sure it's the convection mode. You might have to read up on that. It's been a long time. Convection, yes, convection and radiating. You want the convection mode. If you're in an atmosphere, you want the radiating mode. And stop it. This is basically my rudimentary cooling system. As you can see, the gas coming in here, wrong device, is 50 something Celsius, goes through the cooling system, comes back out the other side, gets pushed and sucked back into the Sterling engine, and over here it's minus 15. So that's working pretty well. So there is no IC chip with my Sterling engine. It's just if I wanted to turn it on and off with those logic readers. I'll cover some of the other code that I have real quick. I think I've done this in other videos, but I've had some questions about coding. My H2 generator is one, and actually it's probably the main device providing heat through this series of pipes to the Sterling engine. This will speed up and slow down the Sterling engine using this regulator valve. Right now it's set to 35 kPa. Now this program controls that. So if I look at this real quick, and I got to make sure that I import these and not export. I don't want to overwrite them. So if I look at this real quick, basically this is reading 2 cable monitors that I have, which one tells me how much power I'm using, and the other one tells me how much power I'm creating. Then I also alias the battery charge, and then I control the fuel input, which this is that valve that's set to 35 right now, the pressure regulator. And I aliased a variable called fuel input to R10. That just made it a little bit easier for me. So, if the battery, well, this goes down and it loads the power actual of the cable monitors, the power used, the power created, and then also loads the battery charge setting from a batch reader at the battery. I can show you that when I'm done here. Now, if the battery is below, the battery charge is below 75%, then I have this go to boost fuel. Boost fuel is right here. It sets that pressure regulator to 45. And then it saves the H2 fuel input, the device, H2 fuel input, to setting fuel input, which I moved 45 to the setting fuel input. I hope that explains it good enough. And then I do that for a couple other ways. If R0, the power used, is less than R1, the power created, then it goes to set normal, which is 30. If not, basically this is saying if you're creating more power than you're using and you're greater than 75%, then set normal, which is 30. If you're above 75%, but you're producing less than you're creating, set the fuel input to 35. And I think that's what it's probably running right now. Yes. So I am currently above 75% battery charge, but I am using a little less than I'm creating, which I can verify down here. This is the batch reader that I have for the two batteries. And that should be going down slightly, and it is, as you can see. That's why that is set to 35. Now that'll run to 35 until one of two things happen. If I start creating more power than I'm using, it'll go to 30. If this goes to 0.75 or 75% charge, then it'll go to boost and go to 45. So this is always between 0.75 and in the 90s. And with it draining that much power, I would imagine my AC just ran inside the building. Okay, so that covers the H2 generator and the Stirling generator. Now, this is a little bit more complicated. This is my gas power generator. Now, I have turned this down because, as you know, in the last episode, I shut down the the fuel input so much that this temperature got below 150 and my pipes burst. That's the only reason I can think of that my pipes burst. So I turned this down a little bit to force my H2 combustor to run a little bit more to keep these pipes warm and keep my Stirling engine running a little bit more. So that's why this is a little cooler. This temperature is from that gas sensor right there in the center of the screen inside my box. This gas generator will run anywhere from 5 Celsius to about just a little under 57 Celsius. So you have to keep that temperature range in there. And it has to be above 20 kilopascals. This is a delicate number. The more it warms up, the higher the pressure gets, but the lower the pressure gets, the less cooling you get. So this is a tricky number. I like to start at about 1 megapascal and then get it as warm as you can get to run and make sure you don't get to 200. Now I have the Stellite reinforced glass here, so I can get higher than 200. If this blows, I got steel frames around it, with the exception of the bottom. And if this blows, then I had a major catastrophe. Something really bad went wrong. So here is, remember I said that cable analyzer, this one is showing how much, because this is my charge line that runs down here and to the back of my batteries. So this is how much power I'm creating right now, 4.16 kilowatts. Now the required is a number that sets how fast the H2 generator, it seems to be pretty stable right now. And the potential is just basically what I'm creating right now. Kind of a repetitive thing. This one down here, this is my where's my cable for the, oh, there it is, sorry. Nope, that's a fuse. Well, anyway, this one shows, I can't remember where I put that other cable. I don't remember where I put it, to be honest with you, unfortunately. Somewhere, that might be it right there. Sorry about that. This is actually my power usage. This is my main power feed line that goes inside, goes up to all this stuff over here, and into my, well, it doesn't go into my back room anymore, and I'll show that later. But right now I'm using 4.2 kilowatts, and I'm producing 4.16. So that is why this is probably going down very slowly. And it is. So if this gets to 75, this will kick into a higher gear and it'll recover pretty easily. I'd rather have this kick into a higher gear at this point. I do not want to blow my pipes over here again. I notched this down to force that to work a little harder. The only negative side effect of that is I produce more water. And right now, ooh, what is this? Ooh, I got to take that down. See, I got 106 in there all cooled. And I got another 55 in there. I have to remember to take that down, although I took the cooling down, so it should not be cooling anymore. Looks like I have a little bit of convection. I'm not sure how. It's not connected to anything. Anyway, so the gas engine, if you're curious about the programming on this, I guess I can yank this out for a split second. This is something you do not want to leave out too long. Where'd my computer go? Did I leave that somewhere? Yep, I probably left it back here. I did. I hate how you have to click on the side of this to pick it up. Okay. Let's see if I can make this. Nope, I missed it. Sometimes I can jump from that to that without any problem. Alright, so I'm going to pop this out for a split second, import it, put it right back, because that one is controlling a lot of different things that are keeping this pressure and temperature where it needs to be. So let's look at this real quick. Now this is my gas engine. So first off, I have it connected to the switch, which is basically just turning it off and on, of course. The gas sensor, which is the gas sensor I pointed to earlier, inside. The turbo in pump, the turbo out pump, which I'll show you shortly. The gas generator, so I can say, hey, switch, turn the gas generator on and off. And I defined the cooling valves. I've showed this in past videos. I'll do it real quick here. When you define something, I'm basically named the cooling valves, are the turbo pumps. So when you define that, let me go to F1 here. So you go to turbo pumps and pump gas. That's that number right there. It should be. Is this a kit? Turbo pump gas. That might be actually different because I named them. But if you don't change the name when you define something, you take this prefab hash number right here. But since I changed the name, The prefab hashes are different, but that's only because I have other turbo pumps that I didn't want this program to screw with. So that's how you define something. And then anytime I want to change the cooling valves, I'll use cooling valves down here, like right here. Now, with all that being read, basically, I read the switch setting. If it's 0, go to gen off. And I turn everything off. And I turn the turbo pumps off because I don't want the room inside here cooling down to an ungodly low number, because then the generator is way below 5 Celsius and won't work. Now, if it's off long enough, it's not going to matter. It's going to go down anyway. But that delays that effect. And then I look, if it's on, then I turn the gas generator on. That says if the switch is on, turn the gas generator on. Makes sense. Read the gas temperature. If it's less than 279, the temperature is too low. So you go to too low. Where did I see that at? That turns my turbo pumps for the cooling off and sets the setting for the cooling valves. You know, I don't think I use this anymore. I think I took them out. I did. Ignore the cooling valves. I have removed that out of the loop because I did not need them, and I have not taken that out of here. And I'm not messing up the program right now. The cooling valves were digital valves that I had on there that I didn't need because the turbo in and out worked well enough. So skip the cooling valve. I should change that, and I probably will now that I noticed it. But anyway, if it's too low, it turns the turbo pump in and out to 0. If basically this just runs in a series. If it's less than 279, go to temp low. If it's not, then is it less than 323 or greater than 323? If it is, then the temperature's too high. Turn the settings to 100. If it's 308, then it's a little high. Turn them to 75. If not, then it's just right. Don't do anything. Go back to start. So that is that cooling. And basically this program is basically just turning on the generator with the switch and controlling the temperature. So let's confirm that. Pick this up. Now these turbo pumps I'm talking about are up behind here, I believe. Yeah, here they are. So these should be, without looking, should be 75. And they are. That's saying you're not over hot, you're not under cool, you're a little bit on the warm side. So these are set to 75, and what that does is it circulates the air through this massive cooling system a little bit faster and a little bit slower. So you see the air in here is minus, if I can hit it, minus 41 degrees. And that is the difference, minus 41 to inside the box as it's being pushed through. At minus 41, it's cooling it down to 47. So it takes a lot of cooling to keep this thing running. So that's, and there's the switch. That is my gas engine, gas-powered generator. I'm not going to get too much into this stuff back here. This is just turning this on and off at 8 megapascals, and since I'm outside and can't hear anything because it's in the vacuum, I just let it go at 8 megapascals, so it's going on, off, on, off, on, off. Keep that in mind, because if you're inside a room, maybe you can take it, but this is like dripping water. Click, 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 click. It drives you nuts. So I'll show you how I overcome that. There is no programming back here. This is all manually controlled to fuel my rocket. So no programming back there. So that is the exterior program. Oh, I guess I have, what is, oh, I bet you this is full. I bet you it's full. This is because I didn't use a silo, and I hate that I don't have another thing to stand on back there. So I got to feed more of these ores. Let's do 2 or 3. There's a copper. Where's the copper? I thought I saw copper. Iron, iron. I don't want to do that one. Copper and gold. Is there any copper and gold in here? Don't need silver. Lots of iron. I may have to change this. We'll do a silicone. There's a copper. Now I'm just feeding these into this. Now this will automatically run every once in a while based on the program I have set up. Do that silicone. I don't know how many I can get in here before it hollers at me. I'm going to do all the unusual ones. This is, oh, do that one. Do I have any gold in here? So this only holds 60. Oh, I guess it won't let me run anymore. So this is full now. Did that clear that up? It did. So I have to pay a little more attention to this and have this feed and create ores, which then dumps it into my room. But anyway, in past episodes I've showed how I have this set up with an IC chip. I'll put this up here so you can see it, but I'm not going to go through and explain all this one because it's a little, not hard, but import, make sure I import. Now that just screwed this up because now everything just restarted because I took the chip in and out, but it'll be fine. But I'll show you this. It's pretty simple. This is how I turn off the centrifuges and the arc furnace that I just manually activated. So basically every time this program runs, it activates the arc furnace, but it doesn't quite keep up with the flow. And that's because I have it sleeping. This just pauses the program. Basically, I turn on the centrifuges, open the centrifuges, or set them to 0 to close them, and then I sleep for 1,000. That is 1,000 ticks. It doesn't really equate to 1,000 seconds. 1,000 seconds, so that would be 10, 15 minutes, somewhere in that range, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, it sleeps for 1,000 ticks of the computer. And then it opens them, dumps the fuel out, and it takes 50 seconds to dump all the fuel. I've experimented with that. I started with 100, kept lowering it and lowering it until the one time it didn't dump all the, not fuel, the reagents out. And then I turned it, and at 50 turns out to be a good number. So that is how I control my centrifuges. And of course I got all my sorters and stackers in here to stack all the ore in 50. If you want a more explanation of that, let me know. Again, this is just for some of the people that have been asking questions about how I'm doing these things. Let's go inside. And again, this is a different episode than I normally do. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just explaining some of the stuff that I've done. Are these ready? Yeah, they are. So I can harvest some wheat. I am eating bread. Thank God. No more canned mushrooms. I was able to make some bread because of the wheat and the soybeans that I have. And because I'm eating bread, when I drink, look at my drink down here goes to 174, and it lasts so much longer. It's much better. This is the cooling program. Just controls. I'll load this real quick and just show you. Won't really affect anything if I take that out. Import. Basically what it's doing, oh, it just turned on. So it must be 26. It's 26 in here, so it's going to cool it down to 25 and then shut back off. Basically it's reading this temperature sensor and turning the cooler on and off. Ignore the heater. I have not used a heater in ages because it tends to warm up in here, I guess because of the lights and stuff. So, but anyway, here's a quick look at the program. Very simple. Oh, I gotta do that again. Import. And I'll shut off because it wasn't where it wanted to be in the program. So, edit. So all this is doing, again, reading the wall, talking to the wall cooler, talking to the sensor that I pointed out, loading the temperature of the sensor, setting that R0 value. This is a tricky code. I don't use this one very often, but I used it in this, and I'm using it more and more because I kind of like it. It's set less than. This is a Boolean. So when you do set less than, it looks at this number 300. If R0, or the temperature, is less than 300, it sets this to 1. That is a true statement. So it sets R0 to 1. If it is not, say if the temperature is 301, then it's not less than 300. So it sets that to 0. So this is either going to be 1 or 0 based on whether it is less than 300 or not. Then you could just take the set wall cooler to R0 because it's going to be 1 or 0. So that automatically controls, those two lines automatically control the cooler based on set less than Boolean, either 1 or 0. And I just have it sleep for 200 ticks, because if you remember when I was outside I said the clicking would drive you crazy. If I didn't have it sleep, this would just keep going click, 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 on, off, and I would be driven insane. Real quick here, a quick program. This is a occupancy sensor. It says, hey, there's somebody in this room. That's exactly what this occupancy sensor does. When it senses that there's somebody in the room, it sets the activate to 1. You can use that in a program. Import. Very simply, to say, hey, there's somebody in the room. Okay, well, if it's 1 because there's somebody in the room, it's going to bypass this less than, so it won't turn it off. And it says somebody's in the room. Turn the wall lights on. And then jump back to start. When you leave the room, this is going to be less than 1, so it jumps to turn the lights off. Now I could define these lights, but I didn't do that because I have 4 other of the same lights in this room. So I actually just, it's just a couple lines of code, it's not a big deal. I actually just named these wall light 1, wall light 2, and now if I go in here, these will turn on, those will turn off. And this is wall light 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I did the same program right here. I only had to change this to occupancy sensor 2. The other one was occupancy sensor 1. This is occupancy sensor 2. And I changed the wall lights to 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's a simple explanation there. Now, this is a code of my own. I have one issue. I've been working to figure this out. I only have one problem left, and it's this one here. How in the world did this get named Harvie set 1, Harvie set 1 on the second line down? Switch glass, Harvie set 1, Harvie set 1. I had a bunch of them like that. It's like some glitch. And what I had to do is, on all the other ones, I took the seed out, or took the plant out when it was done, ripped the hydro cell out, and put it back in, and then renamed it. Now I did that with this one, and it didn't fix the problem, but that's the only one left, so I'd have to wait for this to be done and try it again on that one. But all the sage grass is under Harvie's, and these are just soybeans, so I can make some more soybean oil. That's manual but everything else is done automatically. I have it set to keep the seeds, and right now I have it. How are we doing for power? Yeah, I might have a gap here because of that error that I had. But these should harvest pretty soon here. Maybe while I'm talking. Yeah, I don't know what happened with I had a glitch or something and renamed some of these double. I don't know why. I had to disconnect these for the time being. I have it automatically filling into here, but I popped it out because I want to save the seeds. I have one, no, I don't have any now. I want sage-grass seeds in case I have some kind of catastrophe, so I don't have to switchgrass, I'm sorry, switchgrass seeds. So if I have something go wrong, I have seeds in reserve. Otherwise, it'll take the seeds and just throw them right into here, and this recycle will be happy to mulch them to bits and have this turn in. Now I am a little bit behind here, so I'm going to have to watch this because I had to replace so many of these things. So what do I got in here? 12. I guess I could manually, let's do that. Let's manually harvest some of these. I won't get seeds from them, but I need the power right now. I'm going to have to do 3 of them, I think. Okay, so now I can throw this manually in here, and that'll fire up that, and then that, and that'll automatically feed 50 biomass in there. So now this will run. I may not have enough juice to last through this. I'm going to have to watch. If it gets really dark in here, it's because of that programming error I had in here. Because this is going to take a little while to go to 50. I might run out of power. What I could do, and I have to do this really fast. I only have one wire, that's not going to be enough. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm powering both rooms, that's right. I would have to connect this. Yes, I would have to connect that, but it's backwards. I'll just have to see if I can make it. I don't think I will. This is going to have to run pretty fast here. I guess I could stop it and feed the... Yeah, let's do that. Turn this off. Manually stop this. So it'll feed the 20 biomass in here that I have. 21, at least give me a little bit of power. That may hold me over till the rest of them go. It's not blinking, so I have some power left. Now this'll spit those 20 out relatively quickly. There it goes. And I can turn this back on. And now I could start the program again. And why didn't it fire this up? I pull this out, put it back in. There it goes. I had to reset the code. Now it's turning that biomass into charcoal. The charcoal will get fed in here, and that'll produce power. I'm not going to go over this because I don't want to get too long, but I will show you this code. Hopefully you can figure it out from the stuff I've done in the past. I got to do this fast. Import, all this stuff is, there we go. Now, what this does, and that's this code here, this feeds one charcoal in here every 3.5 seconds. And that gives you almost 100% efficiency. I did not do this code, I found it online. So I'll show you that in a second. But that should at least get me up to 2, I think. We'll see. But that'll hold me over until this finishes. And I get more But anyway, let's look at this real quick. And I'm not going to go over this whole thing. Hopefully you can figure it out. I'll just touch on a couple things. This is reading the battery charge off a batch reader. You know how it's talking to you know how to alias. This is saying if the battery batch reader says the generator's at 95%, come down here, turn the generator off, else I'll be wasting biofuel. If not, turn the generator on, and then this code turns the arc furnace on, checks the import count of the centrifuge, and if the centrifuge has nothing in it, it goes to region check, dumps the 50, or if it's greater than 50, dumps the 50 out, and hopefully you can see how that works. I'm not going to go over all of that because that would be a little bit lengthy, but I'll go up to the top so you can see. Region check dumps the 50 biomass. It keeps running until it gets to 50, and then it dumps. And then this part here I will explain real quick. Clear memory 1 just clears the memory of the centrifuge, because if I don't do that, when it checks for the import count, I have to reset that to 0 because it becomes 1 and it'll be permanently 1 until I clear the memory. That resets it to 0 so it can start over again. Okay. If you need more of an explanation on that, let me know. I am more than happy to answer anybody's questions. I'm basically doing all this because I had a few questions about the codes and pin numbers. This one again is not my program. I found this one in the chat room basically, and it works pretty well. If you just mass dump 50 charcoal into this furnace, it'll go through them like 10 seconds and you'll get hardly any power out of it. That did get me to 2, so that's good. This is what, it's a short program, and again this is not my program. Basically the char stacker is the stacker for the charcoal, and then this is why I don't do this, because I don't do very much for modes or any of that kind of stuff. And then this just basically it checks the stacker and has the stacker throw 1 charcoal in every 3.5 seconds, which gives you a lot better efficiency. So again, that is not my code. So that is pretty much all the IC programs that I'm using right now. And I really wish I would get some. These are all thriving. I really wish if I had another seat, I'd try to rip that out again. I don't know why it renamed it that way. Harvie set 1, Harvie set 1. I don't get it. But because it has that name in there twice, this is Cows Are Evil's Harvie 500 program, by the way. I am not even going to show you that because I don't understand it. He's a really good coder. If you want to know, have some good codes, go to Cows Are Evil in the mod. He has a lot of good ones. But because it says Harvie set 1 twice, it doesn't automatically harvest it like it's supposed to. But I think that'll be it for this. I will explain what I'm going to do here in the future real quick. For the next episode tomorrow, I'm going to start to automate these 3 devices. And I don't like this setup in here, so I'm not going to do it in here. So I'm going to bust this wall out, expand out that way, put these in a nice organized row, and then have all of these input into a vending machine. So when I say I need 50 coils, if I take 50 coils out of the vending machine, the program's going to say, hey, electronics printer, he just took the 50 coils out of the vending machine, make 50 more, and put them in the vending machine. So I don't have to sit here and repeat the same. Okay, I need coils. I gotta run in here. Let's print coils. Wait. I'm gonna have it. Maybe even do 2 stacks of coils, and I'll do that for all the stuff that you use routinely, like pipes, coils, heavy coils, chutes, iron walls, iron frames, steel sheets, iron sheets, all the stuff that you use routinely. I'm going to put in a program to have these things print and put into a vending machine and automatically replace what I take out. And that's going to be complicated. And it may be too complicated for me. But I'm going to try it anyway, because I like challenges. So everything's running good. Again, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. If you have any questions about my programming, don't hesitate to ask. I will be happy to put it in a video. This one I just went over all my programming because I have had a few people asking me, and TMs and on the YouTube channel. You know, could you show me pins? Could you explain how you program that? And I remember when I first started this game, you watch the videos with these guys. God, Creator of the Universe, has a new series on programming, and he's very good. So good that a person like me, when he explains things, he goes real fast, and I'm kind of like, okay. I have to watch his videos like 5 or 6 times before I understand them. So I'm trying to keep everything that I program simple and easy to understand, so you can get the beginner level stuff like I did, and maybe tackle heavy stuff like saying, how can I program these to automatically refill a vending machine? That's the fun of this game. Getting in here and having enough knowledge to challenge yourself to do new programming or new things. And I have a blast in this game. So if I can help people with the elementary stuff, not that, you know, if you begin, I should say beginner stuff, because everybody starts at a beginner level. And will you guys please hurry up and harvest? I still got 2, so I'm okay. I'm pacing in here waiting for these to turn to seeds so I can throw them in here and catch up on my power. But again, anybody that's been watching my series, please subscribe and like. If you like this video, subscribe and like. I love helping people. I love answering questions. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. There is no stupid question unless it's a question that's not asked. It's not an easy game. I'm down to 1. Hurry up! Hurry up! It's not an easy game to start out as a beginner. It really isn't. I've got like, well, let's check. 2,534 hours. That's a lot of hours. And I'm still learning things. And that's what's fun. It's so much content in this game. You know, who would thought you'd have 2,400 hours in something, and you're like, hey, I wonder if I can do this. You know, that's just an amazing thing about this game. Oh, it's harvesting. Thank goodness. There's my seeds. So I'm going to throw that down here so I can replace that one. Now, again, this is just dumping out because I'm trying to collect seeds, and if I have this feeding in here, it's going to happily munch up the seeds. Oh, that one just came too. Excellent. So this should start harvesting any second. Come on. Any second. Any second. Uh-oh. I'm not sure why that's not harvesting. Don't cause me any more grief. This is Harvie set 5, it's correct. Harvie set 5, let's copy that. Confirm. That is Harvie set 5. This should be harvesting. I don't know. Maybe the mod has glitched up Cows Are Evil's program a little bit. This one just changed too. It should all be harvesting. Let me try this. I got the data hooked up. I can't explain it. This is always, oh well, that one's coming to life. Why won't these work? Oh, more seeds. I don't understand why these aren't working. Harvie set 6. Okay, well, you can see this program. This is the only part that I change. And it's not going to work while I do this. And I don't know if it even, yeah, it does reset, okay. Oh, where was that? Oh, that was that one. It's still not harvesting these two. I don't know why. But here's the only part you can change in this. You have to put, oh, well. Is that just those? I don't understand why it's not harvesting these. But I'll have to look into that. See, this is the only part of this program you could change. Do you want to use fertilizer? I have that set to no. Do you want seeds? I have that set to yes. You can change that to -1 right here. And then if you add more, you have to add them in here. But Harvie set 5, Harvie set 6, Harvie set 7, I don't know. I'm not sure why those aren't working. It's just those two. I'm getting a lot of stuff. But here's another thing of seeds. Throw that down there. I do have the data hooked up here, right? Yeah. I don't know. I do not know why these aren't working. Set 5, set 5. Well, let's try something once. Wake up. I don't know. Those two, there's got to be something I did, because his programs are usually really good. No, the other ones seem to be working fine. Uh-oh, I'm running low on power. I only got 2 more to do, so that'll work. I'm kind of making this video longer, but I'm trying to show you how all this works, and I'm just trying to figure out why these aren't. Power? Power? Yeah, that just opened automatically, so that's going to feed, so I should be okay. And they still have not harvested they? Hurry up and dump. Hurry up before I run out of power. Okay, well I'll try and figure out why these aren't working. There's got to be something stupid that I did. I bet you I spelled something wrong. I bet you that's what it is. Oh, I've done that in the past. H-A... Oh, that's not... Oh, that's what it is. H-A-R-V-E-Y. H-A-R-V-E... It's supposed to be I, isn't it? V-I-E. Can you believe? I-E. Not capital. I knew it was something I did. I didn't copy that, did I? I bet you now watch. As soon as I type this to I-E, boom, it'll start feeding. See that? Idiot. I-E. I knew it was me. Couldn't have been cows or evil. I-E. Nope, I just ran out of battery. That's okay, I'm done. So that was my error. Apologies to cows or evil. Where did it put it? Where's it going? Oh, look at this. I even have this set up wrong. It's because I haven't had those in there right away. This should be a junction. Wrong way, right way. And I think I have some chutes over here. Shoots. There they are. So this should be a junction, same way. And this should be a junction. There we go. Problem fixed. And I got some cleaning up to do. Okay, I'm recovering. It's still feeding, so that worked out. Okay, so now that I've showed my incompetency and typing, you have a good day. Navy Old Salt Gamer. Hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and like.